With Own Every Word, you can own every word in the metaverse.
Hammy Ground.
Dunkles. Oppo Time Snack.
And every word is a one of one. And do we have a roadmap and utility? You bet your ass. Have you read it all yet? Okay. Own Every Word. It's another NFT project.
Hey everybody, welcome to Own Every Word, the game show. It's a game show where our dedicated audience called the Word Herd submits answers to fill in the blank statements, and then we have a panel of comedians debate which is the best answer. Whoever's word they choose is the winner, and that winner wins an incredible NFT prize. I'm your host, Matt Harris, and for those of you who don't know, we're going to start this episode with the Wizard's Pick, which is our little wily wizards here. Favorite card from last week's winners. Let's take a look.
Golly, fool. Golly, fool.
Excellent. In case those of you didn't know, that was submitted by a dolphin. But we're going to meet our panel shortly. But first, let's throw caution to the wind and dive into round one. Now, every month we have a theme. This month it's spooky pets. So let's take a look at what our scary scribes came up with for round one. You can tell he's a killer. He has a blank instead of a hand. Let's see what the word heard submitted. You can tell he's a killer. He has a lawnmower instead of a hand. Has a knife point instead of a hand. A Bigfoot instead of a hand. A sprinkler instead of a hand. A selfie instead of a hand. A metal mitt instead of a hand. A axe head instead of a hand. A spur instead of a hand. A bent hamstrings instead of a hand, and a mortar board. Mortar board. Thank you, word heard. Instead of a hand. That's what we have. Thank you, word heard. Let's start with some first impressions here. So I'm going to call him as I see him. Sam Kimbrell. What jumps out at you from this? Hi.
Well, what sticks out to me especially is, our word herd likes going the gym route. Bent hamstrings for hand clearly makes the most sense, visually, is bent hamstrings for a hand. But I do like a guy who has a sprinkler for a hand as well, just because we're here in California and there's a drought. So if he's got sprinklers, he's actually the opposite of a killer now that I think about it. He's actually saving yards. But I think right now I'm kind of leaning towards selfie. I think that's the most insane thing you can have on your hand as a killer in 2022.
That would tip you off, as a matter of fact. Just literally just a picture of yourself instead of a hand. Can absolutely see that. Jordan Palmerville, what jumps out at you then?
Well, a lot, Matt. But honestly, you got knife point, you got axe head, killer stuff, of course. But I'm thinking this guy's a little off. He might have a metal mitt that he uses to kill people. Gong, gong, or a spur, a large jagged spur that you can get real close and just go right in the juggie.
Yeah. You mean in the neck, I'm assuming. Yes.
Yeah, right. I think it's that kind of region.
Okay, I got you. Hey, you know what? It's true. I can see that metal mitt, blunt object, spur, a lot duller generally than an axe head or a knife point. I like the way you think. It's demented and horribly torturous.
This guy's nuts.
This guy, of course. So of course, Phil Ranta, what jumps out at you first with all this?
Look, if you define yourself as a killer, if that's your number one thing, you don't want to get caught. You don't want to be too obvious. You get a knife point or a metal mitt or an axe head, everyone will go, that's a killer. And then you're arrested and you can't kill anymore, thus negating your entire existence. What you want to do is scare people, right? And there's nothing scarier than having a hand where when it pops out, there's a little selfie, right? And they're just like, this is what's going to kill you. But also, I'd like to think that someone becomes a killer if they've got a terrible mutation. And that always points me to things like bent hamstrings for hands. How you would hate life and the world and God if you had that. Or, of course, a big foot for a hand. Everyone would make fun of you at school. You've got a big foot for hand. You've got a big foot for hand. You're like, I'm going to kill the hell out of you someday. And that's the origin story of said killer.
I like all of those. I like the Bigfoot hand because I do see childhood traumas do cause us to kill people, as I'm sure we all know. And then there's the idea of the selfie on the hand, because now I'm thinking it's got to be even better if it gets the red rum voice and like it's talking to it. I'm not doing it. It's the selfie. Oh man, I'm gonna have some
little Phil, Matt.
Oh no, not little Phil. Yeah. I'm gonna have terrible dreams tonight. And with that, here's what I'm going to ask you all to do. Grab something to write with, grab something to write on, get prepared to write down your final answer, and we're going to go over to Mr. Sam Proof and check in with the word herd, see if they can sway you one way or another.
All right, let's take a quick look. Sam Kimbrell starts us off with Sam went wild on the edit this week. Yes, I have too much time on my hands. Please help me. Spin to Turtle says, I'm inclined to suggest my word as the winner. However, Axehead is an endgame suggestion. Well played. Well played to you for keeping it honest. Soda Reap says, bent hamstrings. It's pretty obvious what he's about.
I want to know.
No, I feel good about that. Mogwai Shadow Sprinkler. Yep, I'm here for it. Irish Lunatic, welcome back. Says lawnmower, of course. Think of the money you would make with all the killing. Oh, you mean the okay. Spin Turtle says Edward Mower Hands.
Oh, boy.
That's the closest thing we have to a chat consensus. And Callie Mullally says Metal Mitt is pretty funny, but this is serious business, and we need a serious consensus. So let's get back to our panelists.
We absolutely do. Okay, so you've heard from each other. You've heard from the word herd, who has a tendency to kind of stray on tangents sometimes. We went into the lawnmower realm, appreciated. However, let's see what our illustrious panel came up with. Going back to you, Sam Kimbrell, what stuck with you on this prompt?
Well, Matt, as you all know, I am a hoe for show. And I was swayed by the word herd. I chose lawnmower because I ultimately do think that it is fairly frightening and pretty cool. I think of the saw on the hand from Evil Dead or Army of Darkness. You know, I think having a lawnmower really is the next step. Having a lawnmower there, if that killer has a lawnmower in their hand, they're obviously mean business too, because like it costs a lot of money to pay for gasoline to keep that lawnmower going to kill people. So that's fairly frightening because they are taking their killing very seriously.
I'm gonna bend my logic here to go ahead and agree with you in the sense that someone who had
you say that a lot, I notice.
And I love every second of it. I'm thinking of the guy with the lawnmower of a hand. That's a clunking thing that you have to push. And I really am getting the visual of him like pull starting this thing. And yes, someone
with his other
that
hand.
kind of commitment, they're going to be crazy, and they're probably going to be looking to relieve that thirst with murder. So with that, Jordan Palmerville, what influence came into your brain?
You know, I was influenced by Sam and Phil and their reasoning. I like knock knock, who's there, and then him showing you where would be his hand. It's the selfie, and he's like, the man who's going to kill you. And it's like it's a double because you get to say this is the face you see before you die, and it's like your face is here and up here. Anyway, it was selfie.
I love the knock knock reference. Because now I don't know what to title that movie. I don't know if I like to call it the you know who's there, or if you call it the selfie killer. We're gonna workshop that. But I like the logic. Phil Ranta. Now you've had someone agree with you. You've heard someone be a hoe for show for the word herd. Where did you fall?
You know, Jordan went with my heart, but Reno Cap messed with my head when he said, "Imagine being killed by a Bigfoot." Oh, there we go. And I didn't think about that, but how cool would that movie be if it was a giant foot? Oh, geez. I got to turn the blur off. Just squishing people. It's such a big foot that it's like a murderer, like a kaiju murderer that just squishes people. I did like selfie a lot, but I went with Bigfoot because imagine being killed by a Bigfoot.
It would be terrible. It's the way a lot of people in kaiju movies died. I will say this. We don't seem to have a consensus other than the fact of you, Phil, and your Sam's consensus being that this killer would have serious shoulder problems being weighed down by either a Bigfoot or an outdoor appliance. So where can we be influenced? Now, Sam, you seem to be carrying the word of the influence of the word herd on your back. Do you think you can sway your fellow panelists here over to your side?
Well, Matt, as you know, I lack confidence, and I should have just gone with my gut in the first place. And the answer is selfie, because it was my fucking first pick. It was my first pick. That's what I should have gone with.
Yep.
I'm always trying to make people happy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't you call me Sam.
Typical Sam.
Yeah.
Coming around to the crowd's opinion.
So I take
true.
it you're coming around to selfie, which is where Jordan was. So now that's 2-on-1.
Let's do it.
Felipe Ranta.
Hi, Matt. It's Phil here to kill you.
No!
It's a selfie. It's a selfie.
See, it
I'm gonna go
works.
with selfie.
It
It
does.
works.
It works. What's
Yeah.
wrong with that? Come on.
By the way,
only-
if Central Casting is watching, you can cast me as a murderer. I work for Cheetos.
I just peed on myself, so I will double down in co-signing on his acting ability, and it looks like we have a consensus. Is that true?
Hey.
Yes. Selfie, you have brought home the trophy. Let's see. You
Funyun
who
327.
Thank you very much. Funyun 327. Congratulations. You'll be receiving an official, unofficial NFT prize. And you are also the harbinger of my nightmares. So congratulations to two things to you in this Halloween season. I won't get Phil and that little voice out of my head. All right. But now that we have finished with the first round, now that we're loose, now that we're traumatized, let's meet our panelists. All right. We have three gentlemen before us, complete strangers to some out there, but very familiar here in the Word Herd. First, let's start to saying hello to writer, producer extraordinaire, Sam Kimbrell. Hello, how you doing, Sam?
I'm doing great. I had a great chat with the folks in the Discord beforehand. I got to see our emojis and like all the things that all of our like community is building out, and it's really awesome and inspiring. So thank you all, and thank you to I think it's Harry the Turtle. I want to say who created all the emojis. Apologies if I get the username wrong. I barely remember the names of the people on this particular game show right now.
Yes. Double that on the thank you. Thank you, of course, for being here. Let's move on to Own Every Word's very, very well-known, self-titled editor-in-chief, the man with the board behind him, Jordan Palmaville, everybody. How you doing, Jordan?
You know, I'm hanging in there, Matt. You know, we're pretty busy these days. We got deadlines to meet. We got people hunched over typewriters. They have to go outside to smoke now. So sometimes they bring the typewriter outside to smoke. We still use typewriters, but smoking is not allowed in buildings. So yeah, we're a walking contradiction.
I got you. Anachronisms welcome here. This is a safe space for that.
Safe space for anachronism.
Safe space for anachronism. Hey, it worked in every John Wick movie. It works here on
That was
Own
my
Every
honors
Word.
thesis, I think. A safe space for anachronisms. Film theory. So
You're Dr. Jordan Palmaville to all of you out there.
thank you.
And last but not least, the man with the plan, the man with the hand, Phil Ranta. How you doing, Phil Ranta?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. I decided to do my Five Nights at Freddy's streamer setup with all the lights off except for a glaring ring light on my eyes to make them really blue, just to make spooky season come into full effect. Hi, Matt.
It works. No, I am horrified.
Good.
If I could
There's
share
going
that.
to be more scares and tears throughout the stream.
Oh man, listen. Word Herd, I want you to pray for me, okay? Light a candle, and I will be putting in the chat my current location. If I do not check in with you later, notify the authorities. But it's good to have you all here. It is great to be in the well muscled and sometimes manicured hands of a panel like this. And with that, let's see what we got going on for round 2 and what the spooky wordsmiths have come up with. I hate wearing this mask. It makes my skin feel blank. Let's see what the Word Herd submitted. I hate wearing this
come
mask.
on.
No.
It makes my
No.
skin feel sweaty summer diarrhea. Say that right into the microphone. Makes my skin feel unloose. Makes my skin feel humid. Makes my skin feel residual uglification. Makes my skin feel oldish. Makes my skin feel numbly. Makes my skin feel tearful. Makes my skin feel overheated. Makes my skin feel scalded. Makes my skin feel condemnable. You gave it to us this time, Word Herd. Wow. Hats off to you. Jordan Palmerville, the man with the plan. What jumps out at you first of this?
Well, you know, Matt, sweaty would have worked just fine. If it's sweaty when you wear a mask on Halloween, depending if it's a pullover, it might have just been sweaty. We didn't need that.
Agreed.
You know, I was thinking humid and sweaty, the first part of sweaty summer diarrhea. Also, you know, if you wear the cheap masks, they get on you real tight and you start to feel numb all over.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was thinking numbly when you got that cheap mask on that's cutting off your blood flow, or same mask, very painful, it's tearful. But you're wearing it because you want to impress your cool friends that invite you trick-or-treating for once. And so you got this mask on and you're like crying the whole time and it doesn't hurt. So that's what stands out to me.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I want you to know something, Jordan. It's not your fault.
Thanks.
Okay?
Thanks.
It's not your fault.
I appreciate
Jordan?
it. Thanks.
It's not your fault. I can agree with all of that. Yes, the cheap mask, I remember, they do poke at the face, and they can make them numb, especially if they are filled with cocaine. Phil Ranta. We don't need to go further into that, but what jumps out at you?
Jordan, it's not your fault. The cocaine, I mean, it's not your fault. No, I feel like I felt all of these things, including sweaty summer diarrhea wearing a mask, because those rubber masks, especially the ones that still smell like factory scent, which most of them do, they just make you feel a lot of things because you're getting high as a little kid smelling all that like factory dust everywhere. I think that, you know, coming from Michigan, I didn't feel as much overheated and scalded wearing it, but coming from a overwhelmingly Christian area, I did feel condemnable wearing masks, especially because I usually wore pretty spooky masks because I was a weird kid. So I felt condemnable wearing those things. But I think that ultimately I feel like it just added residual uglification to my face. My skin had like this residual smelly, rubbery uglification on it that stuck to me. And no matter how many years you try to wash it off and how much therapy you go to, doesn't really go away.
Well, I'll tell you this, Phil Ranta, and I don't know if you've heard it before. It's not your fault.
Thank you.
All right? It's not your fault.
Stop it.
It's not your fault.
Stop it.
It's all right. You have that moment. You're allowed. While you're doing that, Sam Kimbrell, what jumped out at you from this?
First of all, it is their fault, and it's my fault. It's all of our faults, and we have to start taking fucking responsibility on this show. What's sticking out to me, Matt, really, is unloose right now, because when I go to a Halloween party, I like to be loose. I like to boogie on the dance floor, and I don't like being a sad ass. So unloose is definitely sticking out to me, but I think the worst part I would have, I'd hate wearing a mask if it made me feel old-ish. I'm a young guy. I'm hip. A lot of Gen Z sort of, if they knew about me, would look up to me. And I like to think that I don't want a mask that makes me feel or look oldish. So I'm going to go with oldish right now.
That's, you know what? I can see that because you are a youthful man.
I'm actually 76 years old.
Most people don't know this.
1'6" for those in the chat.
Most people do not know this. But Sam Kimbrell voted for Eisenhower. So he's been around for a minute. And you will probably never see him in the daylight. It's a whole other thing. But all of those are very, very valid. Let's see. You all grab your writing utensil, grab your writing surfaces, and let's go over to Sam Proof, also the ever eternal youthful, and see what the word herd's saying.
All right, let's take a look. Starting us off, Soda Reap says that combination of words will go down in history. Sweaty summer diarrhea? Yeah. Cryptodon says condemnable. Is a word? Yeah.
I think so.
Nope. We just like Jordan said, we have a bunch of writers. We make up our own words, and we Sometimes I have to break a few legs over at dictionary.com to get them, listed or whatever. Anyway, Reno says humid. Ugh, it's October. Not in this garage, apparently, because it feels like Philly in summer. Callie Mullally says, all these words are fucking crazy. Accurate? Moonraven says, why go sweaty when you go full sweaty summer diarrhea? That is a question for the ages. Thank you for that. Callie Mullally back with unloose sounds really uncomfortable. And you know what? That's tight. And finally, with the most accurate comment ever, Cryptodon, just the what the hell is happening emoji. So let's see what the hell is happening with our panelists and coming to a consensus.
Absolutely. So, you've heard what the word herd has to say, mostly expressing their disgust and confusion at what was submitted. Can't blame them because there's a lot going on here, especially because it relates to the face. So, Jordan, where did you land here?
Well, I feel like we missed the boat with the how could it be humid? It's October. It's not outside. You can be wearing a mask that makes it feel humid in here, And so, and when it gets humid, you sweat. And that sweat doesn't turn into summer diarrhea. It turns into acne, which is not what you want as a teen. It is residual uglification.
Oh, okay. All right. I saw the logic as you went from point A to Z. Can't argue with that, but maybe someone can. Phil Ranta.
It is like a greenhouse on your face.
Yeah,
It is. It makes things grow.
Science.
Phil Ranta, where did you land on this?
A residual uglification was my first one, but I didn't think I had any buy-in from either the word herd or the team, so I bailed on it. I thought there was some really good arguments made around this oldish skin. Like, it feels like your skin is just old. My light is weird today. Oldish.
There we go.
There we go.
Oldish skin.
That guy looks pretty young, though.
He kind of looks like Mr. Poopy Butthole from Rick and Morty a little bit. But yeah, he's
like a kid on the monkey bars, like not an old guy with a walker.
Your skin looks so old that you have to have a walker when your mask is off because it's just,
I'm with you. So, Sam Kimbrell, now you've heard your two panelists. You've heard the word herd. Where did you land?
I thought I swayed people, Matt, which again was one of my flaws. I thought everybody was going to go with my first choice. Thank you for that single, Sam. I love this. I went with unloose because I thought everybody would be like, Sam, we all jumped in. We all found your argument. Very compelling. We want to be loose. But I chose unloose and I'm not happy. I chose that because it didn't bring our family together. And I still think we're coping with that.
Well,
I'll
tell you what. Let's take responsibility for this non-consensus because I think we're all in the same ballpark. Unloose, residual uglification. We're talking about oldish. There is a theme here. And if there's anybody to tie this theme together, that's going to be you, Jordan Palmerville. So I want you to use your powers of persuasion and see if you can get a consensus out of your mates.
Hey, mates. What do you say we just do sweaty summer diarrhea? I mean, we could.
If it means we don't have to have that word anymore, then yes. Because
we can't get rid of a word, though. You can't get rid of a word. There's been Boogie's won a bunch of times. Big Boy's won a bunch of times.
Well,
doesn't make it go away. You're just giving it power.
I'm just wondering if, we have three different answers. What if we don't go to any of ours and we just do sweaty summer diarrhea?
Well, in fairness, residual uglification was my first one, and I actually changed. So I would still support that one. I don't know if I'd support unloose. I don't know if I would go that far. Because having tight skin, I don't feel the tight skin. Skin doesn't feel tight. If anything, it feels loose, not unloose.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Marty, you're having fun.
No, unloose makes 0 sense, Sam.
Yeah,
0 sense.
Like, I'd rather go residual uglification than sweaty summer diarrhea, because sweaty summer diarrhea is like funny words that don't make any sense in the context.
Well, the sweaty
residual uglification. We'll do. That's what
residual uglification.
It feels right, right? It feels right.
I will say, just
Sweaty
as
summer diarrhea.
I will say that all of your answers were in that residual uglification. And so, final call, residual uglification. That's what it sounds like we're headed to. Sweaty summer diarrhea, you were so close. But congratulations to Yo-Yo Johnston.
Hey.
You will be receiving your official, unofficial NFT. And you brought us home. You brought us home to a place where we are going to start taking responsibility for our damn actions. All right.
Oh, fat chance.
Yeah. That would change everything.
Yeah. With that, we are on to round 3. And let's see what these ghostwriters came up with for round 3. I'm loving this. We're experiencing about ourselves. Round 3. I ate so much candy, it made me blank. Watch yourself, word heard. But let's see what you submitted. I ate so much candy, it made me boogie. It made me unforgivable. It made me disorderly. It made me joyless. It made me defecate. It made me grab lunch sacks. It made me out for the count. It made me unconscious. It made me foul up golfing. It made me formative. Interesting selection here. So let's go to a man who definitely is particular in his selection. Phil Ranter, what jumps out at you first?
You know, a lot of these make a lot of sense. When I eat too much candy, I oftentimes feel definitely unforgivable because I was raised Catholic. Definitely disorderly because I'm sugar buzzed. Joyless, you bet. Defecate, you better believe. But the one that really stood out to me is like, if you're like a high end athlete and you eat a bunch of candy before you go out on the course and you're jittery and your tummy is rumbly, you're gonna foul up your golf match. You're gonna foul up golfing if you eat too much candy. Tiger Woods eats too much candy. He is not going to win that Masters. No green jacket for him that year. I'm gonna say foul up golfing.
I actually love that, and that would be the best ESPN post-match interview of like what happened out there. I ate so much candy it made me foul up golfing.
The Sour Patch Kids got me.
You heard it here first, folks. I love it. All right, Sam Kimbrell, what jumps out at you, you ageless being you?
As you know, Matt Harris, I voted for Eisenhower, and we insinuated that I was a vampire. So I like something that sounds old-timey. And the most old-timey one for me right now is, I ate so much candy, it made me out for the count. It made me out for the count. That's what's sticking out for me. But also foul up golfing. I fouled up my golfing. Makes sense as well. Joyless and defecate are the same thing to me because I am joyless while defecating and defecating while joyless. So those are what's sticking out the most, but I think I'm going for out for the count.
Gotcha. That's a shame. Defecating is such a joyful activity. It's good when you can get it, folks. You know what I'm talking about? I hope not. Jordan Palmaville, what jumps out at you from all this?
I mean, what is candy to children but a drug? It's basically alcohol for kids, but it's candy. And I feel like the stages of drunkenness here went from like disorderly, hey, more candy, to joyless, of just like eating candy sadly, to defecating drunk, to then being out for the count or unconscious. You've had a little too much candy. Those are what pop out to me. I don't know that I can pick one now. Follow-up golfing. I'm just imagining that post-game interview where he's saying he ate too much candy and he's eating like a nerd's rope while saying it. Like, well, I think I messed up golfing because of all the candy I ate. Also, John Daly, I think, still has not won a major. And so that's maybe part of his problem.
There you go. Too much candy. Fouling up. I know that's such an old-timey phrase. When's the last time you fouled something up and then cop to it in such a way? And now, because of your description of candy and drugs and or alcohol, it makes me think of trick-or-treating is just one big children's pub crawl. So
yeah, exactly.
Think of that. As you prepare to write down your final answers, and we go once again to Sam Proof and the Word Herd to see what they have to say about this.
All right. Starting us off, Moonraven says, and this is the slogan for our show, we own our words here. not our actions.
Boom. That's the t-shirt.
Beware and put your litigation away. Callie Mullally says, ooh, some good ones and some funny ones, but never both. Gotcha. T. Richardson says, don't give me the win of Joyless again. Begging you not to go for Joyless. Look into your heart. Do not. This is reverse psychology at its best. Irish, welcome with, this is the opening line of your biography. You ever see a grown man polish off a bag of now and laters? All right. And Reno wrapping it up with, imagine being all happy going trick-or-treating. And then after all of that, just joyless. It is. That is just a terrible story. Thank you for that. It really brings the horror into our spooky game show. And let's get a spooky consensus. Back to the panelists.
Absolutely. So you have a lot to work with here. There's this one is philosophically deep. So Phil Ranta, where did you land?
This was not an easy one because I feel like there was a lot of angles on it that I liked. Ultimately, there's one that I liked so much that I just simply could not have my mind changed, and it was foul up golfing. Because I feel like I just imagine, I don't know what John Daly looks like, but I imagine he kind of looks like that.
That's him to a T. That's him. That's it.
He's just like, I can't hit the ball. That's what I imagine. Fouled up.
I need after he finally got the taste out of his mouth, just I found that off.
Now I need more Twizzlers to get that taste out of my mouth. It's happening again.
This man has a problem.
Daly.
This man has a problem. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll get that Kickstarter started. Sam Kimbrell, you've heard. Where did you land with this? Where's your head here?
I stuck with foul up golfing. Thank you for that single, Sam. I stuck with foul up golfing, really, not because of, puke and poo-poo pee-pee stuff, but really, I love basketball. So I imagine that there's a guy who ate a bunch of candy and is just, flagrant fouling people all over the course and just throwing people to the ground, to get the golf win, the ball in the hole.
That's how it works. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I just thought of a ref throwing out a flagrant foul and giving a whistle in golf. We should have that. The fact that we don't, the president of ESPN, who I know you're watching right now, get on this. Jordan Palmerville, you've got two people that are fouling up golf over here. Where did you land with this?
Honey, could you get me my bag of now and laters?
Oh,
Could you tell my caddy to bring Papa's now and laters?
look at this. I love it.
Buffalo Bill.
It puts the candy on. It puts the candy on its skin. Well, congratulations to Mogwai, Leon, Jorel, and Shadow. Couldn't get it down any tighter than that. Congrats, Mogwai. You will be receiving the unofficial NF prize, and congrats to you for bringing back the term foul up. Here, I think that's going to start trending. Hashtag foul up. To describe something that didn't quite go your way. Congratulations, and we are on to round 4. So, as a reminder, round 4 is our twofer round where you'll need 2 cards to submit. So, let's see what our frightening freelancers have come up with on the 4. That guy blank my house. I'm getting revenge by egging his blank.
Okay.
Now, when you leave this open to the word heard,
Careful,
when you
word
stare
heard.
into the abyss,
Yikes.
the abyss stares back. Let's see what the word heard submitted. That guy hammered my house. I'm getting revenge by egging his queen. That guy licks my house. I'm getting revenge by egging his beach cruiser. That guy lists my house. I'm getting revenge by egging his cowgirl. Bombs my house. Revenge by egging his selfie. Burned my house. Revenge by egging his eggplant. Water my house. Egging his fingernails. tear-stained my house, egging his haul, shredded my house, egging his swank, materialistic my house, egging his hangout, debased my house, egging his tuxedo, and toot outside my house, egging his carriageway. Okay. All right. That's fine. This is fine. All of this. Some of these right on the nose.
Fine.
Some of this not even on the body.
Fine.
It's fine.
Fine.
That's good.
All right.
Fine.
It's not my
Fine.
fault.
Fine.
It is not my fault. Jordan Palmaville, you are a man with a lot of words behind you. It leads me to believe you can make sense of things. How can you make sense of this? What jumps out at you first?
I mean, well, a lot. First of all, you got hammered my house. I'm egging his queen. So this British carpenter made my house, and I'm going to egg his former monarch. Obviously, if someone burns your house, you can egg their dick. I think that's fair. I think that's right. Yeah, burned eggplant. Okay, I got that right. And then I think lastly,
not equal in its retribution.
Right. Well, it depends how sharp those eggshells are. I don't know. Anyway, I think what we're all going to be circling is the Fraser Crane. This guy debased my house. I'll get revenge by egging his carriageway. Oh wait, no, wait. Sorry. Sorry. That guy toot outside, right? Because that's what a proper person would say. That guy tooted outside my house. I will egg his carriageway in retribution. Everyone, it was a classic episode. Niles and Fraser getting up to some trouble.
I remember it, and I don't want anyone talking about my carriageway. I'll tell you that much. Except maybe this next man, Sam Kimbrell. What
getting in that carriageway, Matt.
Get off the carriageway to heaven. That was supposed to be materialistic swank hangout just for the second answer. Okay. All right, Mogwai Shadow.
As long as it wasn't summer
I think we
diarrhea.
have too many answers, guys. I think there was a pair that got broke up here.
Oh,
was it?
It looks like it.
Controversy.
Can't do that. This is Costco. You got to buy
Gotta go to
two.
the
Moonlight
sheet.
one, everybody. Moonlight one.
Oh, materialistic and swank is what I'm getting here, or swank and hangout.
So is a shredded
Mix.
the swank materialistic hangout?
Shredded is a swank materialistic hangout. I'm going back to the submissions. Yes.
So it's that guy shredded my house. I'm getting revenge by egging his
Swank materialistic hangout.
that
Yes.
makes more sense.
That makes sense.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
But what's the
okay.
most swank materialistic hangout? It's a carriageway.
Yeah.
I mean, look, these are things, but thank you for that. It's important for us to know these things. But has that changed your mind at all, Sam?
Slightly. A little bit. The thing is I was thinking this round it should sound the best coming from a guy from Brooklyn. And I would go, that guy toot outside my house. I'm getting revenge by egging his carriageway. It sounded pretty good in my brain while I sifted through what I was going to say. And then that guy shredded my house. I'm getting revenge by egging his swank materialistic hangout. I'm slowly turning into Alan Arkin. I don't know what happened to this accent.
Are we talking about this, or are we talking about this?
I love how the word herd goes straight to workout stuff. I love a good shredded. A good shredded, but I think toot outside and shredded are the two that are sticking out for me.
Gotcha. And Phil Ranta, what say you? You've seen it all now.
That damn kid, he licks my house. I'm getting revenge by egging his beach cruiser like all the kids drive. No, I like that one. But I thought that where Jordan was going when he was talking about Fraser Crane was, that guy burned my house. I'm going to get revenge by egging his eggplant. Because I thought that it was like the turn of phrase. He thought that it would be the ultimate offense. But ultimately, I think the one that made me laugh the most, the idea of like that guy debased my house, and so I'm gonna egg his tuxedo because like I imagine he had like one of those like eyes wide shut mask parties in a tuxedo in the house, and it was
Right.
debased, and therefore he'll never do that again if his tuxedo smells of rotting egg yolks. Ugh.
I think that's actually the sequel to Eyes Wide Shut. We know they didn't have permission to use these homes. So with that, please prepare to write down your final answer as we go to the word heard with Sam Proof one more time. I'm sure you are all abuzz.
All right, starting us off, Callie Mullally says, egging his eggplant, LOL. And Soda Reap says, toot, LOL. Everyone's just laughing. It's just, I told you before, this is serious business. Reno says, egg the queen, which I believe is the new God Save the King. So there you go. Egg the queen. Let's get t-shirts. T. Richardson says, I want the word Jehovah's Witness so I can do that to his house. Ding, ding, let me show you something. It's an eggplant. Moonraven says, some toots lead to being shredded.
Wow.
Deep. And some roads lead to a consensus. So let's see if we can go there.
I feel like that was a Bon Jovi lyric. So let's go. Oh man, I don't even remember who I started with because now I got all toot in my head.
Jordan.
That's I figured who I did. So where did you land with all of this influence?
You know, I'm going to go with my first inclination, and it was toot outside in carriageway.
Boom.
Because if someone toots outside your home, who would only do that? Someone with a carriageway, likely.
Especially if it were just a toot, as it were. Oh man, there's so many ways that can be interpreted, but the way that we're all thinking is the best way. Sam Kimbrell, where did you land with this?
I love going shredded, bro. As you can tell, I'm fucking yoked, and I like when choices go with shredded. So I'm going shredded, swank, materialistic hangout. SMH is what we say in the workout community.
Yeah. SMH. Only a man with that many sports hats up on a rack behind him would know about being shredded, bro. So that is what we're going. Yeah. All right. Bring it.
Sam, kiss your biceps, Sam.
Oh, Sammy.
Boom. All right.
That's my Hulk Hogan.
You've heard some things about being shredded. You've heard about tooting outside. Phil Ranta, where do you land here?
I think I was convinced by a lot of people, but mostly the word heard. I think that it's got to be, you toot outside the carriageway. You toot outside the carriageway. That feels like revenge if somebody,
catfish? What am I looking at there?
I'm going to tell you something right now. If it's the kind of tooting where you are grabbing and opening ass to let loose on someone's house, that's not a prank. That is a declaration of war.
Yeah,
that lowers your property
You gotta
value.
egg his carriageway. Yeah,
you gotta egg the man's carriageway. I'm assuming that's Irish Lunatic says looked like he's
driving right up there. Honk honk, here I come.
Oh boy. Yeah, Toots McGee, we agree. Hello. So Sam, I don't want to put you on the spot, but it's 2-1. Do you think you
it's
can
literally
just
the first thing I chose. It's literally the first thing I chose. This happens every week.
Don't doubt
I have no
yourself.
confidence.
Damn.
I work out. I pump. As you can tell, I've let people know I pump. I'm a pumper man. I should have chose with toot outside my house. I'm getting revenge by egging his freaking carriageway.
Hey. And so I think we come to a consensus here.
My balls, Matt Harris. It's toot outside.
A guy toot outside my house. I'm getting revenge by egging its carriageway. And that is our winner. Congratulations to, wait for it, NFT profile number 5. You are number 1 in our hearts, and you will be receiving your official, unofficial NFT from us. Look for that where it's coming. And panel, word heard, we're going to wrap it up with our last round.
Ooh.
We have arrived. We are at the Golden Special Edition round, the one that's for the Golden Special Edition cards only. So let's see what these ghouls have come up with for round 5. Someone call an exorcist. I just vomited a blank.
Like, so help
Yes.
me God if there's summer diarrhea.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Give it to me. What
Summer
did the
diarrhea.
word
Monarchy, right?
heard
Summer
submit?
diarrhea.
Someone call an exorcist. I just vomited a food fight. Vomited a stable. Vomited an endless sausage. Vomited an oyster fork. Vomited a kitten. Vomited a yearbook. Vomited a heavenly kilo. Vomited a commencement. Vomited a ghost. Vomited a wild pig. You know, in all the ways we thought you were going to go, I didn't think we were going to wrap this up on going abstract here. But let's go. Let's deep dive. Let's light a couple of seance candles, get the Ouija board out, and find out where we're at here. And let's start with you, Sam Kimbrell. What jumps out at you?
Well, what jumps out is the frightening image of endless sausage being puked out. Like, you can't stop. Like, what the fuck?
Like a clown
Yeah, that sticks out. I think it's pretty frightening to vomit your yearbook because, you know, we all had awkward phases. I'm still trying to get out of mine. That one sticks out. But also, I think what I want to throw up is a heavenly kilo. So I'm going with heavenly kilo.
It's primo. It's the primo stuff.
It's heavenly kilo, sweetheart. Come on.
I see Brooklyn man coming back. I threw up a heavenly kilo. That's great, Jordan Palmerville. What jumps out at you?
I mean, saying you just vomited a food fight, that's saying you just vomited. Because that's what vomit is, just a bunch of food.
Just a very messy food fight.
And on it, of course, the imagery of an endless sausage just being perpetually vomited for days on end because of the devil. That's great. You know, oyster fork, that feels demonic. You might, if you got silverware and you might be possessed. Heavenly kilo, Sam makes an interesting point by heavenly kilo. If you vomit up a heavenly kilo, your only defense with your parents would be like, I'm possessed. I wasn't trafficking drugs. Is that a kilo? I don't even know how much of a kilo is that. Wow. I call the exorcist because I'm possessed.
You know what? I like that. Or the cops. Or the cops.
No cops. No cops.
No, if I'm saying if you threw up if that's what it was, you vomited a kilo in front of the cops.
Oh yeah.
Someone call an exorcist. Absolutely see your point there. Because I'm thinking if I vomit a heavenly kilo, I'm not calling an exorcist. I'm calling somebody to move this product.
Right.
Allegedly. So, Phil Ranta, what jumps out at you here?
Look, next time I'm caught with drugs, I'm going to tell the cop, hey, someone call an exorcist. I just vomited this heavenly kilo. Hey, it's the demon inside me. What? No. Sometimes the simplest ones are the best. And I think that you'd really want to call an exorcist if someone vomited a ghost. And here's why. If you vomit a ghost, you not only like know that something supernatural is going on, there's no magic trick there. If somebody's vomiting an endless sausage, I think that it's just the clown gag, right? Where it's just like you got it stuffed up your sleeve or whatever, and you're pulling it out. Or
it's not a gag.
If you vomit a ghost, like you have to call the Ghostbusters ghost, and it's now a ghost, and it's a being that's around. There is no way that is a trick. You have vomited a ghost. That ghost was in you and it vomited out. On the other hand, you have to call an exorcist then because it's kind of out of you. Never mind. I'll go back to endless sausage. That's funny.
I will say this. Only because I'm in horror movie mode. Poltergeist 2, vomiting a ghost happens. All right, go back and watch it. It's actually a very cool, disgusting scene. So with that, we have all of our first impressions in. Let's start writing down our final thoughts on this final answer of this final round and go one final time to Sam Proof and the word heard. What are you guys talking about over there?
All right, starting us off. Oh, it's me. I thought we were going to have a Sam Says This, but apparently not. I said endless sausage is so horrible. Moonraven said Sam Proof, and so right. I want to fight this so bad. This is just the most horrible thing ever. Callie Mullally says, wow, good list. Thanks. We spent hours sifting through the things. All right. Soda Reap says they have kilos in heaven. Yeah, asking the questions that matter. There we
Better
go.
believe it. You better
Yeah.
believe it.
Kelly Malai comes back with oyster fork would hurt. Yeah, the tines on those have barbs half the time, don't they?
Yep.
That sounds terrifying. And then it's just the Callie Mullally show. Callie says, "I'm possessed." That's funny. Oh, I meant to do this as Burt Reynolds on Jeopardy. But I'm possessed. That's funny. That's a funny bit. Right? And then Irish Lunatic wraps it up with hookers, who has once again confused us for the search field on Craigslist. Sorry, Irish, wrong place. All right, well, let's not confuse anyone and see if we can't stick with that consensus that I think we already have.
You know what? It looks like it's there, but for safety's sake, let's go ahead and check in. Sam Kimbrell, what's your final answer?
I chose the one that best described this show, which was, this is an endless sausage party, right, fellas? And you know how everybody's doing more illustrations and drawing? That's not poop or tampons. That's endless sausage coming out of somebody's mouth.
Yep. That's
you didn't want to hold on that single. Great.
You don't want to see how the sausage is made, but here it comes. Jordan Palmerville, what say you? What write you?
I think it's best we not overthink it, Matt. I think this is endless sausage. And I didn't know Sam was going to go there, but I hope Phil has a picture.
Well, there's only one person who can answer that call. There's only one person who can bring it home for us, and that is Phil Ranta himself. What do you say, PR?
Jordan, I hate to disappoint you, but there was some pretty persuasive language from the word heard and from others. So I had to go with the most awesome picture ever of somebody with fire in the background and an upside-down cross vomiting an endless sausage. It hurts. When will this end? Someone call an exorcist.
The best part about this for me is now, instead of the song Endless Love, which is in my head, now all I can think of is Endless Sausage.
Is that Monica Lewinsky in hell? Hey,
she wouldn't be vomiting them.
Monica Lewinsky.
They wouldn't be going out. Jimmy Dean's Revenge. I like that. We're pitching that. And yes, thank you, gents, for the pictures. But we do have a winner.
No way.
All right, that we're going to declare here. All right. Someone call an exorcist. I just vomited an endless sausage. So let's bring it home for our final winner. Flash them right across the screen so they can see who they are in the big lights.
All right, I'm looking it up now. There we go. I just shared it.
RM Panda. RM Panda.
RM Panda. Congratulations to you.
RM Panda. This is a heavenly kilo from God. What are you talking? Look, I didn't steal this sausage. It's an endless sausage that came from the devil. Okay. Forget about it.
RM Panda, you're going to be receiving an unofficial NFT from us. And ladies and gentlemen, ghouls, and all the rest, that's our show. Thank you so much for watching Own Every Word, the game show. And before we go, one last time, Sam Kimbrell, where can the people find you?
They can find me on @SamKimbrell. I am also every once in a while on the Discord having a chat with some folks. We have a drop later this month. So if anybody has any thoughts, questions, or wants to chat out some funny stuff, feel free to reach out.
Do that. Jordan Palmerville, where can the people find you?
You can find me at the FedEx office. I'm going to overnight this episode to the Paley Center.
Yeah, you better, because I'll be there with you. Phil Ranta, the sausage king of Chicago.
Hey, Abe Froman. For everyone on the game design team who minted last time, I played the game for the first time today. It's looking great. Got a couple little bugs we're going to solve. Then we're going to get it out to you to test out. But it's 90% of the way there. Our smart contract is almost there, too. So soon we're going to do the migration of the Crow Chain. And then October 31st, we've got the Halloween drop along with Spooky Pets. Every time you mint a word on Halloween, you also get a spooky pet. Save some dogs' lives and get a cool new profile picture. So, And all of those are already dropped in my wallet, so spooky pets can't come back on that. I got 500 pets that are ready to go out to you, or else I'm just stuck with 500 spooky pets. So please buy them all, or else I'm stuck with just a bunch. I can't make those all my profile picture.
Help the man for the love of all good things goodness. So it's been a great time. Thank you all for watching. I'm Matt Harris. And hey, look, people, if I can tell you, be sure to follow us on crypto.com/NFT to follow all our drops, everything that Phil here was talking about. And if you want to play along, go to owneveryword.com. Join us again next Wednesday, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. We'll see ya. Endless sausages and all. Good night.